Gentlemen, let me pose a simple question. What if the most reliable way to reclaim your energy, restore your sense of confidence, and feel a renewed spark in daily life after the age of 60 wasn't hidden inside a prescription bottle or behind a steep clinic bill? What if it wasn't about chasing the latest fads or taking chances on unproven treatments, but instead came down to something much simpler, more natural, and entirely within your own control? I know that might sound a bit far-fetched at first, but stay with me, because today I want to share a powerful and completely natural method that many men overlook, especially those in their 60s and beyond. It's a method that's not only gentle and safe, but also profoundly effective. And the best part? It can be practiced at home, at your own pace, in a way that's deeply personal and respectful to your body. Imagine this. Through one focused and calming technique, you can begin to restore your inner sense of well-being, improve physical responsiveness, and perhaps most importantly, build a better connection between your body and mind. We're not talking about anything drastic. We're talking about thoughtful, conscious self-care that enhances your quality of life from the inside out. Before we explore this method in detail, I'd like to take a quick moment to welcome you personally. It means a lot that you're here, and I truly appreciate your time. Drop a quick comment below and let me know your name and where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know who I'm speaking to. This journey is better when it's shared. And if you find topics about wellness, vitality, and men's health after 60 valuable, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the insights still to come. Now let's start by rethinking something we often take for granted. You see, we're going to be talking today about a specific type of mindful physical routine that many are familiar with, but few understand on a deeper level. This isn't about anything awkward or inappropriate. It's about treating your own body with care and attention in a way that restores energy and builds strength over time. So let's begin by building a solid foundation. Conscious physical awareness. The new self-care. Let's start with a practice that may sound familiar, yet is often misunderstood. Self-stimulation, but not in the way you might be imagining. In this context, I'm asking you to see it as a wellness practice, nothing more and nothing less. This is about learning how to be fully aware of your body again. Think of it as a form of physical meditation, a way to develop stronger body awareness and promote healthy circulation. I call it conscious physical awareness. When we were younger, this kind of physical attention was often done hastily, without thought or care, a mere release of energy. But today I invite you to reframe it entirely. What if this could be something different? What if instead of rushing through it, you approached it like preparing a wholesome, home-cooked meal rather than grabbing fast food? One is impulsive, the other is nourishing. Conscious self-care means slowing things down and noticing every sensation, not just physically but mentally. It's about giving your full attention to your body's reactions, your breathing, your level of tension or relaxation. As you practice this regularly, something remarkable begins to happen. Your body responds more positively, circulation improves, awareness grows, and most of all, you begin to rebuild the subtle internal systems that contribute to physical vitality. This isn't just a feel-good idea. When you practice this kind of focused physical attention, you're increasing circulation to areas that need it. You're strengthening muscle groups that support your core physical function, especially the lower core muscles that play an essential role in movement control, posture, and overall stability. But that's just the beginning. There's also a tremendous benefit in the connection between your body and your nervous system. When you tune into each physical signal, each small response, you're teaching your mind to communicate more clearly with your body. This reduces stress and helps calm nervous tension, both of which can affect energy levels and physical responsiveness. And that brings us to the first technique in this approach, something that's easy to do, safe, and completely natural. Technique 1. Gentle compression for restoring circulation. Before diving into the steps, let's take a moment to understand the principle behind this technique. We call it gentle compression, and it works by applying light, rhythmic pressure to targeted muscle areas in a way that stimulates circulation and promotes overall responsiveness. Think of it this way. When you exercise your arms or legs with light weights, You're training your muscles and improving blood flow. Gentle compression works similarly, but focuses on core support muscles in the lower body. The result is improved blood movement, enhanced tissue flexibility, and stronger muscle control. Here's how to begin. Choose a calm, private space where you can fully focus without distractions. You can lie flat on your back or sit comfortably in a chair. What matters most is that your body is fully relaxed and your spine is supported. To make movements more fluid, consider applying a small amount of unscented water-based lotion or massage oil. This isn't for anything sensual, it's simply to reduce friction and make the practice smoother. Start by placing your hands gently around your lower abdominal region and slowly apply mild, rhythmic pressure in an upward direction. Imagine you're lightly guiding energy upward through your core. Inhale as you apply pressure, exhale as you release it. This helps activate circulation and creates a calming breathing rhythm, which in turn supports the nervous system. You want to aim for 10 to 15 minutes of this practice, maintaining a steady breathing pattern and staying completely present. You should never feel pain or strain. If you do, ease off and reduce the pressure. With consistency, ideally 3 to 4 times a week, you'll start to notice an increase in warmth and responsiveness in the lower body. That warmth is a sign of improved circulation, your body coming back to life, gently and naturally. Remember, this is not about stimulation or achieving any peak experience. It's about tuning into your body's signals, restoring function, and building long-term strength. And once this feels comfortable, you'll be ready for the next step, learning to manage and moderate physical energy levels for better balance and control. Technique 2, rhythm and regulation, building control over time. The second technique is what I like to call rhythm and regulation, and it's all about learning how to recognize your body's changing energy levels and practicing moderation. Again, nothing suggestive here. This is purely a physical and mental skill set that improves control, timing, and overall composure. You might compare this to sports training. An athlete doesn't just sprint full speed until they collapse. They learn pacing, control, and how to recover quickly. Similarly, this technique helps your body stay in a comfortable range of exertion and calm, building endurance and energy balance in the process. Here's how to begin. Find a quiet place where you feel at ease, and begin the practice as before, relaxing the body and breathing deeply. Then begin the same gentle upward hand movements used in the compression technique, but this time, increase your focus on the rhythm of your breathing. As energy builds in your body, observe the point where you feel the most warmth or tension. When you reach this point, pause. Stop all movement and shift your focus to your breathing. Take long, slow breaths. Inhale deeply, hold for a moment, and then exhale fully. As your body begins to settle, wait until the tension softens, then gently begin again. What you're doing is building a mental-muscular connection, training your body not to overreact and your mind not to rush forward. This is incredibly effective at teaching your system to stay in a zone of balance, and over time, it greatly enhances your energy control and focus. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times during each session. It may feel difficult at first. You might feel like stopping midway. That's normal. Just like any physical training, this gets easier with consistency. Practicing 2 to 3 times per week is ideal. You'll find yourself feeling more grounded, more in tune with your body, and more capable of maintaining calm physical energy throughout the day. And when you've built that foundation of rhythm and regulation, you'll be ready for the next technique, one that's often overlooked, yet deeply powerful in improving long-term physical function. Technique 3, core massage, supporting the center of strength. Let's move on to the core massage technique, a deeply calming and effective practice that targets the group of muscles located between the lower back and the lower abdomen, often referred to as the pelvic floor region. These muscles play a significant role in balance, posture, and circulation, especially as we age. Over time, this region can become tight, underused, or stagnant due to lack of movement or prolonged sitting. By gently massaging and stimulating this area, we help restore function, improve blood flow, and promote a deeper sense of physical wellness. To begin, find a comfortable space. Sit upright or lie back with your knees bent slightly, feet flat on the ground. Apply a small amount of lotion or oil for comfort. Then using your fingertips, begin to make small circular motions on the lower abdominal area, just above the hip joints. Focus on slow, deliberate movement, no force, no rush. After a minute or two, move your focus toward the space between the base of your spine and the front of your abdomen. This is where key nerve pathways run, and gentle tapping or pressing motions here can help awaken underactive muscles and increase responsiveness in the region. The goal here is not pressure, but presence. Pay attention to the warmth that builds, to any gentle tingling or sense of release. Perform this massage 2 to 3 times per week, and over time, you'll likely experience improvements in core stability, circulation, and physical ease, especially during movement or exertion. And now we shift our focus to something equally important: your mind. As we continue on this path of natural self-restoration, we now arrive at a turning point where physical practice meets mental clarity. You see, no matter how diligently we care for the body, no method can reach its full potential without involving the mind. Because the truth is, the mind and body are not separate. They are deeply connected, functioning as one, communicating constantly. When the mind is tense, the body reflects that tension. When the mind is calm and clear, the body responds in kind. And yet, many men overlook this vital connection. They focus on the physical side of health, but underestimate how much the mind impacts energy, endurance, and day-to-day confidence. That's why the next practice is just as important as the previous ones, perhaps even more so. It's about calming the internal noise, quieting the stress, and learning how to use mental clarity as a source of strength. So let's explore the next step together: psychological relaxation. Technique 4, psychological relaxation, unlocking the power of calm focus. This technique isn't complicated. In fact, it might be the simplest one to begin, but it holds some of the most profound long-term benefits. By learning to calm the mind, you reduce tension in the body. You ease pressure on the nervous system. You promote better circulation, improve clarity, and the ability to manage your energy with intention instead of reactivity. To start, find a quiet space where you can be completely undisturbed. You can sit upright in a supportive chair, lie back on your bed, or even sit on a cushion if that feels more grounding. What matters most is that your body feels fully supported. Gently close your eyes. Let your arms rest naturally by your side or in your lap. Now begin taking slow, deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, counting slowly to 4. Hold that breath gently for a count of 2. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. Repeat this breathing rhythm for about 2 to 3 minutes, gradually slowing your thoughts and letting go of distractions. As your body settles into a state of relaxation, shift your attention to your lower core, the pelvic floor region we focused on earlier. Without moving or applying pressure, simply visualize this area. Imagine each breath carrying fresh energy into that part of your body, helping it loosen, relax, and warm up naturally. Once you feel your body entering a calm rhythm, you can introduce positive affirmations. These aren't just words, they're focused messages you're sending to your mind and body. You can say them silently or softly aloud if you prefer. Examples include, with each breath, I feel more grounded and steady. I am reconnecting with my body and feeling stronger each day. My body responds well to care, calm, and attention. I am relaxed, present, and aware of my energy. Repeat these affirmations slowly, allowing each one to sink in. You may feel a deeper calm wash over you, or a gentle warmth spreading through the body. That's the power of focused mental intention. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which governs rest, recovery, and regulation. To enhance this process further, consider introducing soft background music, perhaps nature sounds, flowing water, or instrumental meditation tones. Aromatherapy can also help, using essential oils like lavender or sandalwood to deepen the relaxation response. These additions aren't necessary, but they do help create a multisensory experience, which can amplify the calming effects. Another helpful technique is the body scan. This involves mentally scanning through each part of your body, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, identifying areas of tension and consciously releasing them. For example, you might start by saying, I'm relaxing my forehead, my jaw, my shoulders, and so on, moving downward. When you reach your lower body, pay close attention to the pelvic region and let that area soften completely. Practicing psychological relaxation just 10 to 15 minutes per day can result in better focus, more consistent energy, and a greater sense of composure during both quiet and active moments in life. Over time, this practice trains your nervous system to remain calm under pressure, a skill that enhances every other area of physical health. And now that we've explored the mental dimension, it's time to talk about something equally essential, your daily habits. Because the truth is, all of these techniques, no matter how effective, can only take root if they're supported by consistent, health-focused routines. Part 3, Daily Habits. Laying the groundwork for long-term wellness. It's not uncommon for someone to practice a technique for a few weeks and then wonder why the results aren't as dramatic as expected. And more often than not, the answer isn't in the technique. It's in the foundation. That foundation is your daily habits. The little choices you make each day can either reinforce your wellness or slowly undo your progress. That's why this final section is about creating a solid framework that supports your goals in a sustainable, meaningful way. Let's begin with your nutrition. The food you eat is more than fuel. It's the raw material your body uses to repair, circulate, and restore itself. To support circulation and core vitality, you need a diet rich in key nutrients. Look for foods high in zinc, vitamin D, vitamin E, and omega-3 fatty acids. These include nuts, seeds, fatty fish like salmon, dark leafy greens, avocados, berries, and whole grains. Avoid highly processed foods, excessive sugars, and artificial additives. They can slow your metabolism, increase inflammation, and drain your energy. Hydration is equally critical. The body is made mostly of water, and good hydration helps your circulatory system deliver nutrients and oxygen efficiently. Aim for at least 6 to 8 glasses of water per day and reduce caffeine and alcohol when possible. Next comes physical movement. You don't need a complicated gym routine, just consistent, intentional motion. A 30-minute brisk walk each day can do wonders for your heart health, your balance, and your muscle tone. Incorporate gentle exercises that activate the lower core muscles, such as light squats, yoga stretches, or even balance-focused movements like Tai Chi. And don't forget pelvic floor training. These gentle isometric contractions help keep core stability strong and responsive. One particularly effective method is known as diaphragmatic breathing combined with pelvic engagement. Here's how to do it. While lying flat on your back with your knees bent, inhale deeply into your belly. As you exhale, gently contract the lower abdominal muscles. Not forcefully, just enough to feel a light activation. This strengthens your lower core while calming the nervous system at the same time. Let's talk about rest next. Quality sleep is not a luxury, it's a biological necessity. It's during deep sleep that your body repairs cells, regulates hormones, and resets your nervous system. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted rest each night. To improve sleep quality, shut off electronics at least an hour before bed. Avoid heavy meals late at night, and create a cool, quiet sleep environment. If you struggle with racing thoughts before bed, consider using a relaxation routine similar to the psychological technique we discussed earlier. Then there's stress management. Chronic stress is one of the most overlooked causes of fatigue, poor circulation, and hormonal imbalances in men over 60. High stress levels elevate cortisol, which in turn can lower key hormones that support physical function. That's why learning to manage stress isn't just good for your mood, it's vital for your health. Deep breathing, meditation, spending time outdoors, journaling, light stretching, and even quiet hobbies like woodworking or gardening can all help reduce daily stress. The key is consistency. Don't wait until stress builds up. Make stress relief part of your regular routine. Finally, one of the most powerful daily habits you can cultivate is open, honest communication. Whether with a partner, a close friend, or a support group, sharing your thoughts and experiences helps release internal tension and fosters emotional balance. Feeling heard and understood plays a major role in confidence, clarity, and daily motivation. And remember, this journey isn't just about one day, one technique, or one goal. It's about crafting a lifestyle that supports who you are and who you are becoming. Pulling it all together, from practice to progress. So now we've explored 4 techniques, each grounded in natural, time-tested principles. Gentle compression to restore circulation and core responsiveness. Rhythm and regulation to enhance physical control and energy pacing. Core massage to support overlooked muscle groups and promote mobility. Psychological relaxation to calm the mind and reinforce internal balance. And we've set the foundation with essential daily habits: nutrition, movement, rest, stress relief, and connection. Together, these form a powerful, holistic path toward better wellness, strength, and clarity, especially for men in their 60s and beyond. And the best part is, none of this requires anything extreme. No risky procedures, no uncomfortable treatments, just a renewed relationship with your own body and a few simple tools to guide the way. At this point in our journey together, we've walked through the essential techniques, explored the deeper mind-body connection, and laid the groundwork for real, natural strength to return and stay. Now, in this final chapter, it's time to shift our perspective toward the future. Because the real key to sustaining vitality isn't found in any single exercise, diet, or relaxation routine. It's found in consistency, in daily commitment, in the subtle discipline of showing up again and again with purpose and patience. That's what we're here to talk about now: how to take everything you've learned and integrate it into your daily life in a way that feels not like a chore, but like a rhythm, an encouraging presence that strengthens you day after day. These are not tips or tricks. They're not hacks or shortcuts. They are foundational habits, simple, natural actions that, when repeated over time, lead to a healthier, more balanced, more confident version of yourself. This is where real transformation begins. Let's start with structure. Just as a strong house is built upon solid ground, your health needs a routine that's stable and clear. That doesn't mean you need to be rigid or militant about your schedule. It means you create a flexible system that works for you. Ideally, this includes time carved out during your day, even if it's just 15 to 20 minutes, to devote to these restorative practices. Early morning is a great option, when the day is fresh and the mind is quiet, or perhaps before bed, to help the body wind down and prepare for deep rest. Either way, the goal is to treat these moments not as an obligation, but as an investment, a gift you're giving to your future self. A practical weekly rhythm might look something like this. Begin the week with a focus on circulation, gentle compression and breathing awareness. These techniques energize the body and set the tone for the days ahead. Midweek, you shift toward control and endurance, practicing the rhythm regulation method and combining it with calm, focused breathing to strengthen your internal sense of balance. Toward the end of the week, you devote time to deep relaxation and mental clarity, core massage, body scanning, and quiet moments with positive affirmations. Then on the weekend, you allow space for light movement and reflection, whether it's walking in nature, stretching slowly at home, or simply reviewing the week's progress in a journal. This approach provides balance, physical engagement and mental stillness, activity and rest, focus and flexibility. But even the best schedule will fall short if the environment around you isn't supportive. That's why the next key to long-term vitality is your surroundings. Your environment speaks to your subconscious. It either encourages your progress or makes it harder. So choose a space that supports the way you want to feel. This doesn't have to be a fancy room or a private studio. It can be a quiet corner in your bedroom, a favorite chair near a window, or a calm space on your patio where the breeze moves gently through the air. The goal is consistency and comfort. You want a space that feels safe, calm, and yours. Within this space, keep what you need close at hand: a soft mat or cushion, a towel, perhaps a small speaker for peaceful background music. Keep a journal nearby, along with a pen. Maybe you include a calming scent, lavender or cedar wood, to deepen your focus. This is your space for restoration, and treating it with intention helps your mind recognize that every time you enter it, you're stepping into a state of care and renewal. Now let's talk about what many people overlook: how to measure progress when the changes aren't always dramatic or immediate. This is especially important for natural approaches. The kind of progress you're working toward is subtle but deeply meaningful. It might not show up on a scale or in numbers. Instead, it shows up in how you feel when you wake up in the morning. It shows up in how easily you move throughout the day. It shows up in your posture, your breath, your ability to focus, and your confidence in your body's responsiveness. That's why it helps to track your journey, not to pressure yourself, but to reflect and recognize growth. A small notebook is all you need. At the end of each session, write down 3 short reflections. What did you do? How did you feel before and after? And what do you want to improve next time? Over weeks and months, these notes will become a personal record of your evolution. You'll see which techniques resonate most with your body. You'll identify patterns like how deep breathing on a stressful day brought you calm, or how core engagement exercises led to better posture during your walks. This is where data meets intuition. You're not chasing perfection, you're becoming more aware. And that awareness is the real progress. And that brings us to perhaps the most important piece of this entire puzzle: staying motivated. You see, when we start something new, the energy is high. The sense of discovery fuels us. But after a while, that novelty wears off. Life gets busy. Results don't show up on our timeline. And in those moments, it's tempting to let go, to skip a session here or there, and eventually stop altogether. That's why motivation by itself is never enough. It's fleeting. What you need instead is something deeper, a sense of commitment, not to a routine or even to a goal, but to yourself. You're not practicing these techniques because someone told you to. You're not doing this to meet anyone else's expectations. You're doing it because your body deserves care, because your energy matters, because you're choosing not to fade quietly into the background of aging, but instead to engage with life more fully, more deliberately. That's what real strength looks like. Not the kind you see in movies or magazines, but the quiet strength that comes from consistency, resilience, and knowing who you are. In those moments when you feel unmotivated, come back to your why. Why did you begin? What did you hope to feel? And more importantly, what have you already felt, even in small ways? Remember that progress isn't always linear. Some days you'll feel strong and focused. Other days you'll feel tired or distracted. That's normal. What matters most is that you return, that you don't give up just because one day didn't go as planned. Returning to your practice, even after a break, is a sign of strength. It's a signal to your body and your mind that you still believe in your capacity to grow and improve. And don't underestimate the power of connection along the way. Whether it's a friend, a partner, or even an online community, sharing your journey with someone else adds a powerful layer of accountability and support. Talk about your wins. Talk about the challenges. Ask questions. Celebrate small victories. You don't have to walk this path alone. In fact, you'll find that many others are on a similar journey, quietly working on themselves, looking for the same balance, the same clarity, the same inner renewal. As we bring this entire process to a close, I invite you to pause and take a deep breath. Reflect on how far you've come, not just in understanding the techniques, but in understanding yourself. You now have tools to care for your body, tools to calm your mind, habits to build your strength, and a vision of what long-term vitality can look like, not in theory, but in real everyday life. You've learned how gentle compression can stimulate circulation and reawaken underused muscles, how rhythmic control builds endurance and stability, how core massage reactivates essential areas that too often go ignored, how psychological relaxation helps the nervous system reset and recharge, and how daily habits, nutrition, movement, rest, and mindfulness tie everything together. You've also discovered something else, that true well-being isn't about chasing youth. It's about embracing where you are with strength and clarity. It's about restoring your connection to your body, not to recreate the past, but to thrive in the present and move forward with purpose. So here's your final encouragement. Keep practicing. Keep listening to your body. Keep refining your routines. Let your health become a personal ritual, a way to reconnect with yourself and stay grounded, even when life around you gets noisy. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to keep going. If you've followed this entire journey, I want to thank you sincerely. I hope the tools and ideas we've explored together have offered you insight, hope, and practical ways to strengthen your life naturally. And if you're ready to go deeper, to continue this practice long-term, then now is the perfect time to commit. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you've learned, what you're practicing, or even what questions you still have. And if you found this helpful, please consider subscribing, liking this video, and sharing it with someone who could benefit from it. Because in the end, your strength doesn't come from any pill, shortcut, or external solution. It comes from you, from your willingness to show up day after day with quiet determination and care. It comes from your breath, your rhythm, your patience, from your decision to keep learning, keep moving, and keep trusting the process. So take that next breath, take that next step, and let this be the beginning, not the end, of something deeply powerful, deeply natural, and entirely your own.